Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
Welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. If I have a little glow to my face, all those that are listeners, not watchers, it's because I got a little bit of sun, a little vitamin D on me. Went and brought my family to a little getaway, a little spring break action. It's good to get away. It's good for my team even to have a little bit of change, to be able to, and they're new. You know, a lot of them are new leaders. And it's not just me that was away. It was me and some of my other management team, and some of my team leads were left. And it was good because they were able to see the processes that we have in place and really test them out, and knowing that, hey, a lot of us are out of cell service and we don't want to be contacted every second. So it's time for you guys to step up, use the systems and processes we have in place, and really put them to practice. And they did fantastic. So before we get too far into it, we are sponsored by Health West. These guys are fantastic partners, and go to them for any of your health needs. Located anywhere. There are a lot of different cities in Idaho. A big portion of them are in Pocatello, Idaho, right now. But let's get on with our episode. We're talking about change. You know, I think Stephen Hawkins, and I think many other people have said this over and over again, but the intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. You know, business in theory is always going to be changing, right? And I think there's a stat out there that 87% of businesses never sell. And right now there's thousands of businesses for sale, many of them being baby boomers wanting to retire. And many of them are good, successful businesses that are just, you know, there. And maybe the owners, you know, have made a good amount of money and they're just wanting to get out. They're distressed owners, not distressed businesses. And they just don't know how to sell. And maybe they've just done the same things over and over again, and they just kind of gotten in their comfort zone. And sometimes that's got kind of what got them to their success level. And, you know, I don't fault them for that, but understanding that you need to continue to change and to pivot at times to understand new principles and new ideas to get you to the next level, to get you to maybe the next exit. You know, many of them want to exit their companies right now. You know, how do you exit your companies? You know, learning that skill to exit your company. And we'll have some people come on here in the next couple weeks or months here and talk about exiting your companies. But having that ability and learning those skills and changing to your environment really helps that when it comes to that time. So when it comes to changing and pivoting within your company, obviously we went through a big change in the last couple of years. We went through this pandemic. We learned firsthand the things that we have done for decades. Many of you that ran businesses for 30, 40, 50 years have learned, hey, how I did things back then don't work now. And if you're still trying to do the same things that you did back then, now you're realizing, hey, yeah, they're definitely not working now. And if you're still in business, you're realizing either you're struggling or you've had to change your ways. So that's what I want to really talk about today. Is the price of doing the same old thing is far higher than the price of change. And that's, you know, believe it or not, Bill Clinton said that one. Well, let's get at it a little bit here. We're all creatures of habit here, and we all like to, do the same things every day. We all like to have consistencies in our lives. But how many of us have brought on new talent into our businesses and new leaders into our businesses? And just because they have new ideas or a new way to go about things, maybe they get immediately shut down. No, that's not how we do things here. No. Or are you the type of leader or owner that encourages that type of thinking? You know what? I've never thought of it that way. I've never went about it that way. Let's think about it that way. Let's pursue it that way. Let's put some brain waves into that way of thinking and see where that can lead us in this business. Just because you've done, you ran your business for 30, 40 years doesn't mean someone can't come in off the streets with some good experience and offer some good value and be able to really help and change your business. We've had that in our businesses. We've had that, and I've had friends in other businesses that have just had great resounding results from people coming in with fresh ideas, being able to take, look at the what's the surroundings and what they're coming into at a different angle and saying, hey, why don't we do it this way? Have you thought about doing it this way or that way? Obviously you want to be respectful as a new person coming into someone else's businesses and saying, hey, you don't want to say, hey, moron, hey, Jackie, why haven't you thought of this or why haven't you thought of that? Number one, it's a good way to get fired. Number two, that's not respectful. Let's be respectful. In my heck, guys, if you're a leader, if you're an owner and you're not hearing people out as they're coming into your businesses and saying, hey, have you thought about it this way? You're running, payroll this way, or you're running, your management team this way, or you're dispatching your teams this way or this way. Why not try? Have you thought about it this way? Have you thought about it that way? Or have you, thought about it, strategizing it in groups of 3 or 4, whatever it may be. There's so many different things that you can think of, or people can think of that can revolutionize the way that you can run your companies. So don't get stuck in your ruts and think that, hey, you know what? However I've ran my business, I'm perfect as an owner. Even if you think, you're a high IQ, you're an intellect, and you cannot make a mistake. Okay, number one, you have a fool for a master if you think that. But number two, know that you can always be learning. And if you can't always be learning from someone, again, you have a fool for a master. But remember when you bring people in, just to listen and to observe. Don't shut people down just because they don't think the way you think. If everyone thought the way you thought, you think this world would be full of different businesses and fun ideas? No, they wouldn't be. Be the same. If everyone was like me, it'd be a weird world. And if everyone was like you, it'd be a crazy weird world. It's good that we have different, personalities, different strengths, different weaknesses out there, so we have this well-rounded community, and that's why we have good leaders, and we have good opportunities for people to come into your companies and help change and revolutionize some things. So always be up for that when it comes into your business, and it could come from a low position. It can come from a high position. So just because, hey, you have someone who is very low in command in your company, compared to, a chief officer of your company. If it's a good idea, it's a good idea, and give them credit for them, and give them some props to the entire company. If it's a good idea, and let it roll, and give us some merit. Let that idea roll and let it marinate and see where it goes. So don't be afraid of change. use your intelligence to adapt that change, and go that way. So I hope, that's just some things I've been thinking about recently, because we've had some great people coming into our business, and we've had some great ideas that have helped, change a few things, tweak a few things, and just better our systems. We've had some good systems in place, and we've had a few people come in and say, hey, you know what? I like what we're doing here, but why not tweak it here? Or why not we change this, move this over here and move this up from here over to here, and just some small steps and some small things. And even we made a few bigger changes that have really helped. So just be open to people coming in and knowing that you don't know everything, even though you've owned your business for X amount of years, So be open for people to really rock your world when it comes to looking at your business from a different angle. Again, in closing, it's a short and sweet one today, but stay grateful, go out there, make someone's day, go out and serve someone, be positive, and just go out there and serve someone. Until next time, adios, and we'll see you next episode.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.